into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. There's a walk back. I believe. The Giants from the pennant. 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 Bobby Thompson hits into the line back. On the left field line. The Giants from the pennant. And they're going crazy.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
As always, I love that intro, but not so much the play from my Mets and the Yankees from last night. We'll get into that, but welcome to the Tuesday edition of WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College at 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host for today, Joshua Umahi, joined by Anthony Deus and Matt Leonard. Fellas, our baseball teams, like I said, ain't do too hot yesterday. So how we doing today?
I'm just glad I didn't bet on the Mets last night because I would have been screaming my head off at the TV with what I saw.
Yeah.
So the Blue Jays are underdogs right now, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, I'm taking that.
That is the
How
dumbest
much?
thing. Plus 110 money line.
Oh my
Really?
God!
Yeah.
How do they love the Yankees tonight?
What's the spread?
It's always 1.5.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I'm new to this. I didn't know that.
You got Kikuchi going for Toronto, right?
Yeah, and you have Nestor Cortez, who should have been starting yesterday.
Right. Anytime there's like a weird like underdog or plus odds, I'm like, does FanDuel know something we don't?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on here? It's always interesting to see how those things play out, but
I just love. I showed this to you earlier, Josh. I opened DraftKings and it says, "Bing bong, bet the iHeart New York parlay today here."
It won't die. It won't go away. The season's
So
over.
what do they have? Probably the Nets, right, tonight?
Let me look at it. Let's click it. Yankees, Rangers, Islanders, Mets, Nets.
They need them all to.
You all win, and the odds are plus 1905.
Read that to me again.
It's all the New York teams. Nets, Mets,
Okay.
Yankees, Rangers, Islanders, all to win tonight.
Oh.
No, that's a trap play.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah, let's see. The Rangers are playing the Hurricanes.
That's a win.
Mets are obviously playing the Phillies. Yankees are against the Blue Jays. They're the favorite somehow. Nets are going to win tonight. Islanders, Penguins. That's a loss. That'll kill it all.
What was that you said, Anthony?
It's a loss.
It's Islanders,
Oh.
Penguins. Islanders lose.
You have a caller on WHPC Sports Talk right away. In 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I have a guess of who it is.
Caller, what's up?
Matt, please don't ever say the Islanders are going to lose to the Penguins, please.
Well, that was me. That wasn't.
Well, no, Matt was reading off teams, right?
Wait, is this who I think it is? Oh,
guess?
what's good? What's up?
How are you, Dylan?
Guys?
What's going on,
I'm
Dylan?
doing good, Matt. Yeah, just don't ever say the Islanders are going to lose to the Penguins again, because this is the first time the Islanders are actually playing them at home since I think it was December. And that game was close, and this game's going to be even closer, and this one's going to be an Islanders victory. I just want to ask you guys a question. How do you guys feel about Robinson Cano hitting before Canna in the lineup tonight? I don't understand why. I understand Cano's your DH.
Right.
But Canna should be batting before Cano because Cano's not the same guy he was with the Yankees in Seattle. I get that. Mm-hmm. But Canna's a much better hitter, and he should be in front of Cano. I want to know what your guys' opinion is on that.
That's actually a good question. The only thing I can really deduce from that is that, Cano's a veteran guy. He's been a great player before. You got Buck Showalter here. He probably wants to give the veteran the nod, but Mark Canna has been spectacular
He's batting .571.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, to be that good as a free agent, I wish everybody that signed with in the New York market started off that way, but apparently they don't. But
Well,
that's a good point.
You at least hope that, and I don't think he will settle into this, but you hope that Buck doesn't do a Tom Thibodeau where he's like, "Oh, we got to play the veteran." You know, we got to put emphasis on Cano because he's
Cano's a veteran too.
Yeah, but he's not a veteran. The way Cano is.
That's a good point.
I just don't understand. I get that Starling Marte has to be second. You know, like he has to be at the top of the order, and you have to have Alonso up there, and you got to have just. I understand that Cano is a guy that's a veteran, but I mean, come on, he's. I understand Escobar is a better hitter, but I mean, it's just that when you have Lindor, Alonso, Marte, and Nimmo at the top four, you kind of have to give Canada either fifth or sixth, and then you have to give, I guess, Cano, McNeil seventh and eighth, because you want McNeil to be a guy that can hit in the back part of the lineup so he can get guys on base. I get that. But I just don't understand why Cano has to be in front of Canada when Canada's a much better hitter. So...
Well, again, if both of them, Canna and Cano, keep trending the way they've been in opposite directions, I mean, it's going to be a wrap eventually. If Buck Showalter is the smart manager we all know him to be, I mean, he's not going to keep doing that. But like Anthony said, we just got to watch it, and then hopefully it's you know how I feel about Tibbs and his penchant for the older guys.
Aren't you glad the season's over? I'm so glad. I don't have to talk about that team anymore. Now I can actually rant and be not optimistic about my team. Right. Except for the Rangers because they're winning the cup, but that's besides the point.
All right.
I actually have
I also have a hot take, Josh, for you before I go.
Let's hear it.
I think the Nets will win the play-in. I think they will be. I think they will be a 7th seed.
Okay.
As much as everybody's saying that they should be a finals favorite right now, I don't see them getting past the second round.
You know what? Dylan, I've been saying something similar. I'm saying, KD and Kyrie are obviously great, but if you don't have Ben Simmons, right, he's a guy that fills in for everything that the Nets need right now. Defense, pushing the pace on offense, just being a physical defender. They don't have any of that right now. And their defense has really struggled, since the Harden trade. I mean, not that Harden's a great defender, but you look at the numbers, it's really fallen off. I've been saying if the Nets don't have Ben Simmons, I don't see him winning the playoff series. So I can see them winning one round. If they have to play Boston first round, which it looks like they might, I'll take that series. I will take Brooklyn over Boston in the day because Boston doesn't have the same amount of shooters and scorers that Brooklyn does. Brooklyn has 3 or 4 guys that can go 20 points each, easily. Right. And I think that with Boston, you only have Tatum and Brown, which is kind of hard to do because if you have only 2 guys that can do it compared to 4 other guys that can score more than 15 points, 20 points, I'd take that chance. But then once you play the Bucks second round, you're not beating the Bucks without Simmons. You're not. You're not even probably going to win 2 games of that series. Looking at it right now, I mean, the Celtics don't have Robert Williams for the first round, so we got to keep that in mind.
And they don't even have Robert Williams. I forgot about that. Yes, you are so right. And I was about to say, no way they would beat Brooklyn without Robert Williams.
Right, yeah, he's a huge loss. He was second in the league in blocks per game. He's really a fantastic defender, switchable, can defend all 5 positions, really. Yeah, that's a really big loss.
And he can play on anybody. And that's why I think Brooklyn might be able to beat Boston, but they're not going to certainly beat Milwaukee in the second round. And Milwaukee might have a chance to go back to the finals again. And we might see a Suns-Bucks dynasty finals thing start out now with the Cavs Warriors.
That's not a bad take. I mean, you look at the way the Suns have played all season long. Yeah, look at the way the Suns have played all season long. Look at Giannis, Bucks hitting the peak at the right time. The NBA playoffs, and I'm so excited that the play-in's starting tonight. I feel like this has a chance to be the most exciting, the most suspenseful, and the most interesting NBA playoffs we've had in a while. Because of all the talks of, we haven't had a lot of parity like this in a long time. I mean, I can name off 5-6 teams that can win a championship. Easy. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
And who do you got, Josh, in the play-ins? Who do you got winning each spot?
You know what? I've done some thinking about it, and I'll lead that into our next topic. Thanks for the call, Dylan.
Okay.
You know what? Nets Cavs tonight.
Yes.
this is going to be interesting. I always trust KD in the playoffs. Like, he's the type of guy, he kind of coasts during the regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, he's going to empty the clip now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to give it everything he has. The question I have is obviously the Nets defense, which Dylan touched on, and Kyrie Irving. Do you guys, if you looked at the numbers, since Kyrie Irving became a full-time player again, it hasn't been Kyrie Irving. It's been a shell of himself. It's like, I don't know whether he got accustomed to having all the time off or whatever, but
it's load management, yeah.
All that, yeah, I'm like...
A lot of load management.
And then he had that weird quote 2 weeks ago or a week ago about a back-to-back where he didn't play well. He's like, I wish we didn't play back-to-back games. Like, bro, you missed half the season. What? Come on,
I don't even know at this point. Like,
it's that and Garrett Cole from yesterday. We were talking about Garrett Cole yesterday with the whole 4-minute delay BS. You heard about that?
Oh boy, do I want to get into that? Oh boy, my favorite New York Yankee, Garrett Cole.
You know what? Let's get into it right now because I'm kind of in the baseball mood. We'll circle back to basketball, but what do you think about that?
He is such a fool. Like he is such a weirdo. First of all, he can't answer a question. He can't lie. Listen. Sometimes you got to get up at the press conference. You got to lie. Right. Understood. Sometimes you do have to lie, and that's okay.
I'd rather him lie than say that.
You look like an idiot. Okay. Second of all, all right. Another point.
How do I answer the question?
Him talking about the Rays and the Red Sox and saying ancient warriors. That's weird. Stop.
Wait. I must have missed that quote. What did he say?
Here, I'll try and pull it up. But he and then the most latest quote from him, besides the delay, which I'll get to in a second because he's a dummy for saying that. He goes, when the Yankees and Red Sox get together, they're like two deers like going at each other. Some antlers are going to break. What the hell is that? You couldn't say it's just a rivalry? Like, what the hell?
Some antlers are going to break.
That's a real roundabout way of...
Yeah, that's a roundabout way of a $30 million player that gives up 3 runs the first inning. That's what you're paying him for. Nice.
I really want to know your immediate reaction to the whole delay comments because we kind of touched on it yesterday.
That is so stupid because you're waiting 4 minutes and that's going to screw up your pitching.
They have a body clock or whatever.
You have an internal clock that's like saying, "Oh, I got to pitch now. I'm going to give up 3 runs." You give up 3 runs either way every single game.
It's so strange. I mean, we can go to Garrett Cole and kind of operate off the aspect of New Yorkers and star athletes, and we saw Julius Randle, how his season went. We saw, other guys, they don't handle it real well. Kyrie Irving even.
Well, Cole was fine for most of his first season here.
Exactly, but then the spider tack thing happened. It's like his mental is falling off a cliff.
It's not his mental. It's just maybe he needed the spider tack.
He just needed the spider tack to function.
All right, so this quote from last year, sent out by SNY Yankee Videos. Garrett Cole's
Hang on. Why is that an account?
They have it for every sports team.
Why?
Grow up. Let me vent.
Fine.
Don't make this about you. Let me vent.
Okay.
Garrett Cole last year. Comparison of the Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox battling for the wild card spot to ancient warriors practicing against neighboring cities. Weird.
What?
Sure, we've lost some battles, but the war is ahead of us. And guess what you did in the wild card game? Look what you did. You absolutely made a fool of yourself.
He wasn't ready for war, apparently.
And then he breaks out the Don Quixote quote. It's not going to cut it. Like, really? What?
It's... We kind of touched on this yesterday.
I don't care. I don't care if you're a weirdo and you're just saying weird things at the press conference.
If you can pitch, it doesn't matter.
Give me one. Just give up 1 run a game. That's all I ask, man.
That's all we ask for as New Yorkers. Like, as a Knicks fan and watching, once again, my favorite, Julius Randle.
Yeah, but Julius Randle's not going up there talking about
ancient warriors, antlers.
Yeah, he's not going.
Could you imagine that?
He's Smopey in the press conference. I'll take that. I don't want a guy going up giving 5 runs out in the outing and then talking about chess. I don't need that.
It's wild.
Thank you. You got me on a roll. Now.
Yes.
Now what?
Aaron Hicks.
Oh, there we go.
It's so bad. When Joey Gallo was your best player last night, that's a problem.
That's not good.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. This team's full of problems. I'll put it.
Is your optimism gone?
It's at about 60% right now.
Okay.
Last night's game, sorry to cut you off, it was really the fear coming into this season. I mean, yes, the Yankees, when at their highest potential, can be probably the best lineup, if not a top 3 lineup in baseball. I mean, you have from Gallo to Stanton to Judge to LeMahieu. I mean, all these guys that either have hit really well in the past or are really good premier players now. And then you have last night, and it's just a reminder, all of these guys that I just listed are inconsistent as hell. And when it all comes together and they're all inconsistent and they're all bad on the same night, that's how it looks.
Right. I'm really not going to kill Stanton because the first 2 games he was perfect. Like, I'm not going to kill him. I don't think he should be because he stepped up, right? Gleyber Torres, on the other hand, you're terrible, dude. They put you at second, you can't do anything. I don't get it. It's not like Stanton where you put him in the field, he becomes a better hitter. You put Gleyber back at second, he still is terrible.
While you're on this roll, what do you think of them benching LeMahieu?
That was one of the dumbest moves. Okay. He was, I know last year was a step back, but he's a 300 hitter, all right? And you could, batting average, a lot of like, yeah. Whatever. You're benching him for Gleyber Torres, and you bring him in a pinch hit, he strikes out. Well, let me tell you, for the 3 at-bats that Gleyber got, he could have went 1 for 4, 2 for 4. You could have given yourself a better chance to win. Now, one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing.
Please.
When Aaron Judge was getting booed, he goes, I've been hearing it since 2016. It's nothing new. Be careful, Aaron. You don't want to make enemies right now. Listen, maybe they are booing you unfairly, sure, but don't get wise with us.
We touched on this yesterday, too, about, the prospect of how fans, like, what side Yankee fans are going to be on in terms of Aaron Judge and he wanting his money, or Brian Cashman and offering, 8-year, $230 million, what it was reported. It's like, I personally, if I'm Aaron Judge, I'm taking that deal because, again, we talked about the Vladimir Guerreros of the world. We talked about the Otanis, the Trouts. Judge is not on that level. Yes, he's a very good power hitter. Great power hitter. Very premier power hitter in this league, but it's you're kind of just, I mean, I don't know. It's what, over $4 million a year annually, the difference?
It's ridiculous. And it's really weird that they leaked the number willingly.
Yeah.
That's an interesting move. That doesn't make Cashman look sketchy. No, I wouldn't. This team's full of weirdos.
Yes.
They really are.
Anthony,
he
while
was
you're
sleeping on the street,
Yeah.
Anthony, while we're on the subject, so John Heyman tweeted this about
one of your favorite people in the world.
My new favorite, insider. Go ahead, tell me.
Quote, Judge doesn't deserve booze.
He doesn't.
He has every right to set his contract demands where he wants,
sure,
even if the Yankees made what seemed to be a reasonable offer, and to become a free agent. Now, again, I feel like you kind of agree with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're getting off of that money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. If the season goes how it's going right now for you, I know it's only 5 games.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're looking to get it. You're not going to, unless you make MVP numbers. I don't see this contract going up. I mean, you want to test the free agent market? That's fine. Stanton can be the captain. That's fine. That's fine. You gave up that right. But I can't boo him.
How can Stanton be a captain? Hold on. How?
It's a joke.
Okay.
It's a joke. Come on.
Okay.
What do you think?
But from this aspect, Anthony, like say a month from now or a month and a half from now, we're talking mid-May, and Judge is batting .220. He has 2 home runs in a month and a half.
Ooh.
And he's really, it seemed to like be getting to him, the pressure of betting on himself. He bet on himself to get the deal that he wants. He has his number. It's not being met, so he bet on himself.
That's his fault. I can't, as much as I would love to just really get angry at the Yankees front office, I can't, because that's a fair deal. Some might call it a little bit of an overpay.
It's an overpay.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's a fair deal.
For his health,
Yeah, but that's all right. You want to test out the market, that's fine. You want to go to the Giants or the Rockies and just have be on a mediocre team,
mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's okay.
It's interesting. I made this point again yesterday, too. It feels like Judge, he's kind of operating from the aspect of he might know how Yankee fans feel about Cashman and Steinbrenner and cheap, all this, and he's kind of like, all right, I'll bet on myself, and they're going to be on my side since I didn't get my contract. It's just another example of them being cheap. That's how they're going to see it. But again, if he starts to struggle, it's going to be real interesting to see how it all plays out.
And if that's the case, he struggles and he wants to come back here, it's better for the team.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to make that money again. He's not going to get that offer.
Nope.
Absolutely. Going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Also, one more thing. Was Kevin Gausman too much to ask for this offseason? I know Sevy had a good outing last time, but really, we're trusting Tyone to, down there in the line.
A lot of teams wanted Gausman. He was in with a lot of teams.
The rotation is terrible.
It is.
Outside of Cole, Sevy's
But Cole's not great either.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And to circle back, like I said, you want to give me 7 shutout innings? Fine. Then you can talk about chess, whatever you want to do. That's fine.
Antlers breaking, weirdo.
Yeah, you could dress up like a wizard and do whatever you want. That's fine. Just give me 7 shutout innings. That's all I want.
That's all New York fans ask for. Just perform when you're out there, please. 516-572-7440. Yankee fans, if you need to sound off as well, get it off your chest. We're here. Again, thoughts will just pop in my brain, and I'm just going to shout them out. Because there's a lot. And there's a lot. The first 2 games of the season were just like there's encouraging signs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't great, but they were encouraging signs. These last 2 games, they're this team at its worst. They can't rally late when they're down bad. And they were down, I just don't understand with what direction this team is in. I know they got better in some aspects. Donaldson had his moment. Okay, cool. IKF can't hit.
You can't field either.
No. Pinstripes are, what's the phrase? Pinstripes are too heavy for him.
Yeah. Oh.
Again, another shortstop dilemma. But I know Trevor Story's not doing too good right now, so maybe that wasn't the solution.
Well, he's playing out of position. He's playing second base now.
Oh.
IKF is too, though. He was the third baseman, won a Gold Glove at third base.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
The fact that we know
But he wasn't a good shortstop, but they knew that when they traded for him.
They knew that, yeah. They knew that, and given how uncertain the Yankees' shortstop situation was last year, you would think, let's get a guy who knows the position. It's his natural position. And I know he's soft hitting no matter where you put him, so that's going to be an issue regardless, but at least put him at his purest position.
Well, you can't put him there because you traded for Donaldson.
Exactly.
Paying him all that money.
So at least try to get a guy that can play shortstop and you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense to me. And I was shocked when he made that error a few games ago when I saw that stat they put up where he's sterling at third base. He's phenomenal. But he struggles at shortstop. I'm like, so... I was like, Brian?
Well, I mean, part of it is any Yankee shortstop is going to face Derek Jeter comparisons till the day the Yankees franchise doesn't exist anymore.
True, but you just got to put your hard hat on and just perform. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like to that point, and New York athletes as a whole, I feel like just should there be like a mental evaluation? How well you can handle pressure if you're going to sign with the Mets,
tests
Knicks,
on you,
Yankees, just please, just something to think about. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Anthony Deus, Matt Leonard joining me, Joshua Umahi. We're hot about our baseball teams today. So
I was going to get hot about my baseball team for a minute.
Let's go to the Mets right now.
All right.
You have something to complain about?
I do. Did you watch yesterday's game at all?
Let's just get right into it.
Go ahead.
Okay. My turn. Thank you. I said, and Michael was like saying, wow, you're really passionate about a trade of 2 middle relievers that don't matter. Was I wrong?
You know what? I have to eet crow today because I defended.
Was I wrong?
You weren't wrong. Did Jolie Rodriguez move?
I hate him. I told you he's bad. How's Castro look? Not bad, right?
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you.
For the role he's fitting in, perfect.
I mean,
oh my God.
We can debate about who's the better pitcher, and obviously it looks like Castro to this point, but my issue is like, I'm looking at Buck Showalter, and I know it's the 5th game, don't jump on me here, but I'm looking at him a little sideways because why is Jolie Rodriguez pitching to Real Muto in the first place?
Real Muto kills lefties, and Rodriguez is batting against righties. I don't understand that.
He's terrible against righties.
Was 3-batter rule, though? Could that be why? Were we missing something?
It could be, because remember, I think the Trevor May injury has something to do with it.
He only pitched 2/3 of an inning.
But have him start the inning then.
No, I'm saying he got 2 outs.
So you have to get 3 outs.
You have to face 3 batters. So I think that was it.
Just have Jolie Rodriguez start the inning then. Why is Trevor May starting that inning?
I don't know. Trevor May apparently was hurt, and now he's okay. And Taijuan Walker's on the IL. This is a mess.
Yes, it's...
Taijuan Walker tweeted like an hour ago, I'm okay, guys. Everything's fine. Now he announces on the IL.
You can't just... Yeah, if everything's fine, you can't have beat reporters 2 hours later say, oh, IL stint. What?
Maybe he didn't know. Who knows?
Taijuan Walker, I mean, even when he's pitching well, and that's not that often since the All-Star break last season, it's always the injuries you have to worry about.
Yeah.
He's a very brittle pitcher. It's always something.
He's a big guy. He's like 6'7".
Big guy, too. It was the knee.
He's like Aaron Judge size.
Exactly. And how well do those guys hold up? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, unless you're Randy Johnson, that tall a pitcher is hard to keep together.
Yeah, I mean... The New York Mets. I mean, and the Phillies, and if you have an opportunity for the Mets to just take your fans back to collapses of 2007, 2008 past for one game, you just have to do it, right?
Yeah.
And have a closer named Brad shut us down too. That was great too. Shout out Brad Lidge. But
what about the Alec Boehm comments? Did you see that?
I really
what he said during the game? You mean?
I really wanted to get to that because and we're going to get to the call in a little bit, to say that, to just fail at fielding your position and then to be caught on camera, I effing hate it here.
Yeah.
The same thing I said about New York athletes should apply to Philadelphia athletes because that city's no joke either. We do have a caller on the line, WHPC Sports Talk. You've reached us. What's up?
It's me, Ross. I told you have a crappy bullpen.
You did try to tell me. What's up, Ross?
Not much. First of all, this has been a problem for 10 years. So first of all, it's okay to overreact in the fifth game. We've seen this for years with this team. They never fixed this damn bullpen, and it's been a problem for years. And the scary thing is, Edwin Diaz wasn't even a part of it, and they still blew the game.
Yeah.
He's back tonight, Ross.
He's the worst.
I mean, I'm not looking forward to. I just need, to your point, Ross, I just need reliable guys in this bullpen. Our starting pitching staff, reliable as hell. I have no problems with them. Jeremy Hefner, like I said yesterday, done a great job with them. But this bullpen, you just got at some point you got to come in and throw strikes. Just throw strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the corners.
I know, hit the corners. And look, the May getting hurts, unfortunately, I can care less about Trevor May. I don't think he's very good at all. Mm-hmm. But, look, this all started with just, Walker gets hurt. And I say this all the time. The Mets do this for the last 10 years. You cannot rely heavily on starting pitching. This is what happens when you rely too much on it. Your bullpen gets there's no other way to go. I'm sinking and swimming with the starting pitching, and they've been sinking ever since.
It's a shame. I mean, with how well, again, Taijuan Walker goes down early, and you're thinking, oh, no, it's going to be a bullpen game. But to your point, Matt, earlier, Peterson had a great outing.
He did.
Really held the fort down, and then, when you get to the later inning relievers, it just all falls apart.
Who expected that to happen, by the way? Look at how David Peterson looked in his major league career at this point. Yeah. Who expected him to be the best pitcher of the day?
Really incredible. I mean, everything was lining up. That's the most frustrating thing about the loss. Everything was lining up to, as a Mets fan, you're getting ready to feel really good. You're going to go to 4-1 the season. You lose a tough one in the closing game of the series to the Nationals. But it's all right. You move on to Philadelphia. You're up 4-0. You just need to put the hammer down, and they didn't do it. And now we're wondering. Now we're wondering as Mets fans, given how the past has gone with this bullpen and, everything else is just, it's not.
But I'm just going to say it's not a manager thing at this stage. It's a bullpen problem. It's not. It's the players on there. To me, what I find laughable is they've thought that this bullpen can get guys like the Philadelphia Phillies live or the Atlanta Braves live out. That's what's laughable to me, more so than it's why I don't put it fully on the players, more so than the organization.
Yeah, there have been some people being critical of Buck. I saw it increasingly last night after the Washington game, there was some whispers of it, but I was like, all right, it's just, again, it's game 4. How mad can you really get over a manager, our first real manager in a while, right? This isn't Mickey Callaway we're talking about.
And also,
Can I just put it in perspective, and I won't get into it, but when the New York Rangers first hired Gerard Gallant, who had his moments for choking, not like Buck, but still in the playoffs, people were down his throat the first 2 losses, right? Give it time.
Is that why he was choking?
What?
Because people were down his throat. Is that why he was choking?
I'm out of here. No, but give him some time. It just happens. A new coach is not going to be impress you immediately. It took me 5 games to understand what happened with Gallant. It's going to take you a couple of series to understand with Buck Showalter. I'm not saying you or Matt or Mike are doing it, but just give it time. It will work. It will work out to a desirable outcome. I don't know if that's a World Series or not, but close. I know that's the objective, but that's all right.
And by the way, one final point. Can you get the good news is Lugo, May, and Diaz will not be on this team next year.
I mean, if they're trending the way they're trending, Edwin Diaz is the real question. He has to have a great year. He can't be Mr. Wild.
He hasn't pitched yet this year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but,
he's got to have a big year.
No, I agree, but I honestly, to me, like, I would ask Lou to do this. Get Tommy John surgery. He's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah, did not look great last night, and
he's pitching through an injury.
Exactly.
He's pitching through an injury, torn UCL.
So you definitely got to get that figured out. We don't need. I just need sure things. To your point, Russ. I just need sure things on the mound.
I'll even take 70% of the time you're good. I don't care.
Yeah. If you're hurt, sit down. If you're if you're called to the bullpen and your arm's not feeling too good and you haven't warmed up correctly, just sit down. All right.
Trevor May just pitches through anything. Yeah. It's amazing.
I mean,
it's not, but you know what I mean. Like, it's amazing that he does that.
Hey, shout out to you. You want to be a warrior, fine, but please,
like Garrett Cole,
don't hurt the team. Like
Garrett. Oh, another Yankee thing just popped up in my head.
Yeah.
We're 2 series losses from Brett Gardner being back in pinstripes. 2 series losses away.
You think so?
I don't know.
He's still sitting there waiting for the phone to ring.
So is Conforto. I mean, he might be a Yankee. Let's get Ben Oppenheimer.
Who would you rather have?
Probably Conforto.
I would too.
Even though he's terrible too, but
Brett Gardner.
He has more potential than Gardner.
I know Ross would probably lose his mind if Conforto was a Yankee, right?
If Conforto, I want to see Conforto in Texas. I don't want to see him on New York.
Yeah, I think the ship is sailed for Michael Conforto in New York City.
Yeah.
But appreciate the call, Ross. Thanks for checking in.
Bye.
I mean, how, like, that loss last night, how bad was that? Like, how bad did that hurt you?
The Mets loss? Oh.
It hurt because it's all too familiar.
Yeah, like, we had all this hope in the DeGrom news, and then the hope came back, and we went 3-0.
Do you really care that it was the Phillies as much as it was?
No, because any team beating us like that, I would hate.
No, because, like, it's the Phillies at some point. You're kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
Agreed, but again, I would have been mad regardless, but it's the Phillies. We've had, history with them in the past and with the choking and everything, and this is a team you're going to be competing with. I think it's a 3-man race in the NL East. These are games you don't want to blow early in the season. Again, yes, it's early, but as a
winnable game.
A winnable game, it doesn't get more winnable than 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th. It just doesn't. And then as a Knicks fan, I had to hear people all season long go, oh, Tibbs will figure out the rotation. It's early. Oh, Randall will play better. It's early. Blah, blah, blah. It's early.
Look where they are now. They're in the play-in.
At some point, early
don't
gets
let them hurt you anymore, Josh. It's over. Don't let them hurt you.
It sticks with me. But
and don't compare Buck to Tom Thibodeau.
No, it's not the same. Thibodeau's not gonna make guys pitch when they're hurt and ruin their careers.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna.
He's not gonna be like, DeGrom, get out there, you're a baby, go.
He's not gonna do the baseball equivalent of
Derrick Rose.
Somebody,
yeah,
40.
That's Derrick Rose.
Yeah, Derrick Rose. The Knicks. I actually have a Knicks topic later that might shock you guys, but
okay.
Does Buck have a following?
Have a following.
Like Tibbs as Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson and
the Buck Club maybe. I gotta look into that. The Buck Club.
The Buck Club. Yeah, we know Buck
because he's been out of
the Buck buddies.
He's been out of a job for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean,
unless Ubaldi
they'll sign J.J. Hardy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Then I'll be wearing a Mets uniform if they sign J.J. Hardy. One of my favorite players.
Mets Yankees.
Look at Manny Machado. Oh.
Mets and Yankees fans. 516-572-7440. If you just need to vent about last night or
we're here for you.
How the beginning of the season's gone, we're here for you. We're getting stuff off our chest ourselves.
At least you can laugh at the Braves, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
not for long.
How much can you really laugh at the defenders?
Not for long. Yeah, they just won a World Series. I can't really laugh at them.
They lost 11-2. That's bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. I hope it continues. I can't stand the Braves. Let's move on to some basketball. We'll circle back to basketball because, again, the Nets have a huge play-in game tonight. And we touched on kind of what we expect from Katie and Kyrie. And I think they get the job done. I can see them. The Cavs are like the cute story of a team, right? They have the young point guard. They have Kevin Love, who's had a nice bounce-back season. But, they were...
Jared Allen's having a great year, too.
Jared Allen. They have LeVert, Markkanen, but...
They have a good team. Oh, my God.
They have a really good team. A lot of talented players, but they were hovering around the top 4 seed in the East for a while. They dropped down to 7th. They hit a slide, and they kind of came back to earth a little bit, but we'll see how they do tonight. What I kind of want to touch on is the pressure on Kyrie Irving and what the possibilities would be if the Nets lose this game. Because the other play-in game is the Hawks and Hornets, the 9-10 game.
Ooh.
And I expect the Hawks to take that one.
Really? I think the Hornets got that.
I think the Hawks have been playing real good ball, and Trae Young's the best player in that game.
That's true.
I mean, and if you're talking about a play-in game or a game 7, I'm always going to go with the best player.
Yeah, Trae Young's developed into a very clutch player, but I don't know. I think the Hornets are deeper than the Hawks, not by much, but they have more depth, and I feel like, I don't know. I'm not a big Hawks guy this year.
I'm a big Hornets guy too, so I feel you, but they can't play defense. They can't defend to save their lives. I mean, neither can the Hawks.
Trae Young, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm going to side with the most talented offensive player in that game. And say the Hawks win and the Nets lose this game and they have to have a one and done against Trae Young.
The Nets can beat the Hawks.
The Nets can beat the Hawks, but you're putting yourself in a very, very dangerous position.
But then think about who they have to play after that if they win. They're the 8th seed after that.
Yeah.
Who's currently the 1 seed?
The Miami Heat. So if the Nets...
The Nets could smoke the Heat.
Exactly. So, again, that's the one team I can see them beating.
How are the Bulls 6, by the way?
The Bull? Okay.
What happened?
So here's the thing with the Bulls. The Chicago Bulls started the season off great.
Yeah, because they had everybody healthy. Now Lonzo's out for the year. Caruso, where is he?
The Lonzo injury hurt, but they just can't beat good teams.
Yeah.
The Bulls were I think they were a top 3 seed, and they had a big game against the Nets. It was one of Kyrie's first games of the season.
Yep.
And they got smoked. The Bulls got destroyed.
I looked really good for a while with the Bulls. Now I'm not looking so good anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's me with Golden State.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with them. They started off the season great, but...
Kyrie may not play to start the first round, so that hurts.
Against the Nuggets and Jokic.
Well, it's just Jokic, though, because Murray's not coming back. Porter Jr. is not coming back.
You know what? I don't have this on my sheet, but I kind of wanted to discuss the MVP debate.
Again?
What do you mean again?
We do this every week. That's fine. But
really?
Yeah.
Really?
At least one day a week we're talking about the NBA MVP. It's fine. I'll talk about it.
I'll keep this short then. So it's really Embiid and Jokic right now. And
still no Giannis for you?
Listen, I was on after the Brooklyn game. I was like, give me Giannis for MVP. Give me Giannis for the scoring title.
I remember.
Give me Giannis for everything. But he didn't finish up the season well. They lost a tough game against Dallas, and he sat the last couple of games to kind of rest up. So,
I put Embiid third behind Giannis and Jokic. Jokic is 1.
With Giannis's drop off, I want to go Embiid. Embiid's my guy.
It wasn't that crazy of a drop off. He still has great stats.
I agree, but again, with MVP voters, and I agree with you here, but MVP voters, they really take stock.
Yeah, it's not our vote; it's their vote. You got a point,
and they take real stock in the end of the season. So.
Yeah.
If you remember that 2016-2017 MVP race with Russell Westbrook, that triple-double year and James Harden, Westbrook had an incredible last week, and that really won him the award.
Was that when he did the 2020 game? That was in that week, right? When Nipsey Hussle died?
No, that was a couple years after.
Oh, okay.
Well, he averages a triple-double every year.
No, he had a game where he had 20, 20, and 20.
Yeah, that's...
in the last week of the season somewhere.
That was that was against the Lakers, I believe.
Yeah.
Full circle moment.
Oh, my God. Anthony, we were reading mock trades for Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Were you reading these today?
I did not, but I saw how he treated his coach so nicely. That was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
You weren't there on Thursday when we were talking about who could coach the Lakers.
Okay.
Doc Rivers is in the running.
Oh, yeah. Match made in heaven. they're made for each other.
Oh, that's a real quick thing about the Sixers. Is it Thibault or Maxey that can't play in Toronto?
Thibault.
This is just setting itself up to be hilarious.
Exactly. You have Doc Rivers.
An emotional exit for Doc Rivers.
James Harden has been looking in real playoff form lately.
Oh, yeah. Oh boy.
It's going to be, and the Raptors are playing real good ball.
If the Clippers make it farther in the playoffs than the Sixers, that's going to be amazing.
I know.
Ooh, and I'm
high. Coaching doesn't matter because Ty Lue sucks.
What was that quote? It was I think Doc Rivers was discussing Paul George. His struggles in the bubble, right?
Yep.
And Paul George kind of questioned his adjustments, which rightfully so, with what we've seen the last couple of years. And Doc goes, "Well, Ty Lue was sitting right next to me." Doc, Ty Lue has shown in 2 years now he's a exceptionally much better coach than you.
Oh my God!
Smarter with adjustments, smarter with player relationships. Like, no. I'm not letting Doc get away with that one, and he hasn't really.
So he's saying Ty Lue is guilty by association.
Guilty by association. That's what he said. Oh, Ty Lue was sitting right next to me. Like, no, come on now, and it'll
That's
be
ridiculous.
It'll be glorious again. Embiid's my guy, so it gives me no pleasure in saying this, but it will be glorious when the Sixers.
I love Embiid how he plays. I don't like him.
You don't like him? Why?
I just don't like him.
You don't like Joel Embiid?
No.
Why not?
Probably because I'm a Knicks fan. He annoys me, but
I can see that.
As a Knicks fan, he really annoys me.
Do you remember the games Harden first came to the Sixers and
they were
shot
close?
They were close, but the deciding factor was Embiid and Harden shot 1 million free throws in the 2 games.
You can't foul Harden. That's the key to beating them. You just don't foul Harden.
That's hard to say.
I know, but that's what you got to do.
How he shot the ball lately, which is not good.
Yes.
If you keep him off the foul line, I mean, you pretty much stopped them. You mentioned the Lakers. I kind of want to touch on this real quick. And Russell Westbrook, those quotes. Can you burn the bridge anymore?
He's gone, right? We agree
He
he's
has
gone.
to be gone now.
Where's he going?
Best player overseas.
Where's he going? Shanghai Sharks.
Future Guangdong Southern Tiger.
Yep.
Where do you think he's going in the NBA?
Sacramento or overseas?
I'm thinking Charlotte.
Oh, please, no.
No. He's getting traded for Gordon Hayward or something.
Yeah, it's basically
salary dump.
You take my trash, I take your trash kind of trade. That's basically.
Maybe it'll work out for one side. Who knows?
That's basically what Russell.
I don't know what you're doing, Westbrook. You got to play on the bench though, because LaMelo's got to start there.
Exactly. It's what's up?
What do you got?
Got Cole comments.
Okay.
Garrett Cole comments.
Oh no.
Garrett Cole on what he'd like to do better this time. Maybe a strike first pitch of the game. That'd be great. At least get into a better rhythm sooner and go from there.
I love how he's reading it in his voice.
Overall, my mechanics are in a good spot. I just had a lot of adrenaline and just kind of spun my tires there for a minute. To find a better rhythm or tempo, I just got to stay within myself. Now we're on to music theory. We're on to music theory. That's the next. We're on to music theory. We're taking. What's the quote? Taking all the fine china out of the closet right now. We're taking everything, all the excuses, right?
Garrett Cole needs like a regular spot on the podcast somewhere. If you put a mic in front of him, magic just happens.
I'm sorry. I just, I'm sorry because it's just. I told. This is why I made him my Cy Young prediction, because if he doesn't do it, plenty of material to kill him with, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you said.
He wins, they win the World Series. Yep.
Still yet to be determined whether he's a spider tag merchant or not. He definitely got to pitch better. He has not pitched well at all since all of that came out. So,
have you seen that picture that's going around where it's like, you remember that sign, the sign he had from when he was a kid about the Yankees? You're the Yankee fan as a kid.
Yeah,
oh, please.
Have you seen this picture?
Oh, of course. That was the big post on every Yankee social media.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the meme they made out of it.
No, I have never seen that.
Oh, it's a picture of a jar of spider tack, and it says, "Have you seen my friend?"
Oh, he misses it. Him and Chapman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to...
What? I love how MLB posts a video of Chapman where it's like, Chapman's mixing it up today, and the first pitch is like way out there, 95 to the backstop.
Even Chapman, too. Like, we've gotten on Garrett Cole, but Chapman's like lasting image in every Yankee fan and baseball fan's mind. It's him smiling after the Altuve home run that cost him in 2017. Just smiling.
Yep.
Like... No, that's not a good image for you to have.
That's something he picked up from Sonny Gray. So,
yeah, you just gotta smile through it.
We're talking about Diaz being terrible. Chapman's not good either.
No, he's not. But you know what? He was good in 2016. So let's.
He was. Yeah,
that's a curious.
When you traded him to the Cubs.
And then you got him
for Gleyber Torres.
Was good in 2016.
For Gleyber Torres.
Rizzo was good in 2016.
Yeah, and they were all great.
Stanton was good in 2016.
Yeah. And now they're all in the Yankees in 2022, huh?
And two of them are good. Stanton and Rizzo.
Yeah, that's about it. Rizzo's been winning people bets, I hear. People bet on Rizzo to get a hit, and he gets a hit.
No.
He's not doing too bad.
Bet on the Yankees to do something. I don't know.
The only time I bet on the Yankees and they gave me 100% profit boost. I don't touch the Yankees.
So you're saying Rizzo is a parlay protector?
Yeah, he is.
So he's up there with, okay, so my parlay protector.
And the Yankee parlays I've made, none have hit, but he has done his job.
Yeah. You know what? Because you know what's interesting with gambling and sports betting?
Yeah.
Like, I used to be like really fixed into the game and outcomes, and before all this betting got involved. Now I solely watch, like, say this game, Cleveland and not Cleveland.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, yeah.
Cincinnati and Cleveland games on, and I have a rooting interest in Cincinnati just because I like Cincinnati.
Shane Bieber, strike him out 3 times. All I need, turn the game off.
Exactly. Now I'm just like, hey, Shane Bieber, you want to Want to strike out a few guys this inning? Like, come on now. That's how it's sad, but that's how I watch. That's the sphere I watch games now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I was doing that with basketball.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, you get that rebound, pass it to him, he scores, I win money. That's it. Like,
callers 516-572-7440. Talk about anything. We've just circled all the bases today. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Once again, I'm Joshua, joined by Anthony and Matt. The next topic.
And to get ready.
Yeah.
He told me to pull the show, get ready.
I've been very hard.
Do I have to get the door open to leave?
No, get something to throw at him. That's what you got to do.
Wow.
I'm not going to do that.
Josh, this is bad.
Let me
hear me out, y'all.
Okay.
I'm willing.
Nobody's been harder than the Knicks on this show than me, I feel like. From Tibbs to Randall to just the front office and Leon Rose. Before I get into anything I'm going to say, Leon Rose, are you kidding me? So we don't hear from you all season long, and then the one time you do is the last game of the season on your owner's own network on a pre-recorded interview with Mike Breen.
Yeah.
Mike Breen. You couldn't even give us like Stephen A. Smith who's going to ask like difficult questions maybe. Mike Breen, the company man Mike Breen. And so it's on his own network, so you know what that means. He's literally...
He's a puppet.
He's a puppet. He's not going to talk about anything we really want to know about. Like, why not? We know y'all were interested in De'Aaron Fox. Why not inquire about
Halliburton?
And you can debate whether Sabonis and Randall is a better player, but that aside, the whole trade deadline, not doing a damn thing, really. So we didn't hear from you from that point on all the way to this point, and it's on the most coddled environment you can have. So Leon Rose, just stop.
Get to your point about the Knicks.
But yeah, the Knicks. So all that aside, if you look at this season in totality, I kind of start to consider it a success.
Okay.
Think about it.
No. Listen, I'm still here, so I'm
okay. You've lost me, but go on.
Go ahead. No, because I think I know where he's going with this. But let's see.
One team I want to bring up, the Utah Jazz, right? The Utah Jazz are a very nice team that wins a ton of games every year, but what's the book on them? They will
choke in the
playoffs. They will maybe win a round, maybe if everything breaks right, but we know what the Jazz are. They're not going to win a championship. That is what the Knicks would have been destined for if, say, Randall has a good year as a number one option and you maybe make the play-in, win the play-in, get into the playoffs, and the front office is like, oh, look, Randall paid off. The contracts of Evan Fournier and Nerlens Noel and all that paid off. Let's keep this going.
Could you imagine?
Let's keep this string going of going nowhere, just like the Utah Jazz and other teams we've seen for the perpetual future. That's what it would have been if Randall didn't fall off a cliff this season. So that's point number one.
Okay.
Point number two, Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin. So, Randall, his quad injury forces Obi to play. And I quickly finally got minutes over Alec Burks of all.
Finally,
I'm not going to get into that.
Took a while, but we got it.
Took a while.
Last week of the season.
Just Emmanuel Quickley, 34, 10, and 12. Obi Toppin, a career high 42 in the last game of the season. Now, I know it's the last game of the season.
No one's trying.
No one's trying in a meaningless game, but still, you still got to show promise when you have the opportunity. And they did that. And I'm very pleased with how they looked given this idiot Tibbs, and he didn't give them much minutes.
This idiot.
He didn't give them much minutes to really show what they can do all season, but from what we saw, I'm very pleased with what they showed.
Okay.
And RJ Barrett, I remember when I first got on this show, I had a point where I know Julius Randle's not going to be a number one option on a contending team. Like, I know that for a fact, even after last season, the greatness of last season. I know it for a fact. We don't know that about RJ Barrett yet. Now, he needs to get more efficient from the field. He does. This is a fact. He needs to. 41% from the field is not going to cut it.
No.
Under 70% from the line is just not going to cut it as a number one option. But he showed real improvements this season. I mean, that aside, he showed real improvements. So
Josh, I wouldn't call. I agree with what you're saying, but in just terms of labeling it, it's not. It's a failure, but with some bright spots. That's what it is. Because the only success, if you want to make it a success by just saying they're tearing it down, they're starting over again, right?
Yeah.
Is yet to be determined by draft and beginning of next season. And what happens in the offseason.
That's the big X factor.
And then we could how many months? I had 5 months or so. We could come back and be like, hey, you know what? It didn't go good, but we're in a better spot.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. I'm not, I'm not honing for the glory days of 2021 about Julius Randle. I don't need that.
That's over and done with, to say the least. I mean, yeah, it all depends on, that's a great point, what they do this offseason. If they do what, I don't know how smart Leon Rose is at this point, but if...
Well, that's the big question. If he's still going to be basically not even a puppet, he's just going to do whatever he wants to do instead of, bringing in more people like Fournier and Kemba Walker, which Kemba Walker, we hope the recovery's going well. We haven't seen it. No, he's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Yeah, I like him. He's from New York, whatever.
I think Mr. Smile, Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
So Kemba could be in that category too. Always smiling, always upbeat.
Yeah.
Can't play defense, but
no. But you know what? That's all right.
we love Kemba.
We love
another show.
Love you,
Kemba Walker.
But to your point, it's like if they do what the season would tell you to do is go young, invest in RJ, Obi, IQ, Cam Reddish. Mitchell Robinson's still yet to be seen, but Jericho Sims showed you some signs. Like if you focus your attention on that, on the draft, and even if you're going to go into free agency, go young, go with some promise. Then we'll look back at the season in hindsight and it'll be a success. But if we have another Leon Rose disaster class like last season, there was a well contract. We don't talk about that enough.
No.
Like, where is Nerlens? Like, Waldo, where is Nerlens?
Louisiana.
He got upset his agent, and then now he's, he's doing what he wants.
He was more focused on suing Rich Paul than playing basketball games this season. So.
Good for him.
Yeah. That's the priority, That's what he signed here to do.
I hate to circle back.
Yeah.
And I probably said this, and I just forgot it in the fit of rage that I had at the beginning of the show. But
this is a venting show. Get it off your chest.
Aaron Hicks is playing left field tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Where's Stan? DH?
No, he's playing right.
Where's Judge?
Center field.
Gallo's DHing.
No, Rizzo's DHing.
Where's Gallo?
Being benched tonight.
What was that Blue Jays bet at the start of the show? Plus 100? Plus 110?
Plus 110.
Plus 110.
Yeah, I'm putting money on that.
Yeah, let me
And what is the excuse
that
there's a left-hander? I mean, still, I don't know. This team is terrible. I feel bad for Nestor.
I'm not going to say terrible again. It's early in the season, but
this team will be terrible.
Really?
This team will be unwatchable. That's what I mean by terrible. Somehow they'll be unwatchable.
Reasonably, how many games do you see them winning?
90. I think 90's fair.
90?
And that's good.
That's reasonable.
Michael Merlo's up here saying, "Oh, you're crying about it." They're not. I mean, they were kind of watchable the first two games. Now they're like, please.
Yeah. Again with the Yankees, and we are all circling back now. It's really all the issues. The biggest issues you can say they had last season. Were they really fixed? The rotation?
No.
Consistency of the lineup?
The bullpen looks great.
The bullpen looks good. But the inconsistency of the lineup and the rotation after Garrett Cole, it's like who?
Back to the Weirdo. 5 innings from the Weirdo? No, not going to cut it. Not going to cut it because you're gassed. Not going to cut it. Sorry.
No, I mean
the Weirdo.
The Weirdo.
That's his new nickname. The Weirdo.
Nickname.
He's the Weirdo.
Number 45. The Weirdo.
I just can't, because we're on the subject of Randall and Garrett Cole. I can't understand how you can be a star in New York City and somehow in your mind think it's okay to say, the 4-minute delay drew me off, or, I didn't like when the fans booed me. I gave them the thumbs down because I told them to shut the F up because it hurt my... Like, what? What are we doing?
They need like a therapy group.
New York sports?
Yes.
Well, let's get it together.
Lindor. I mean, Baez, like, maybe we can have him zoom in, right? All right, so we have Lindor, Cole,
Randall,
Kyrie Irving.
Randall.
Do we want to put
Bring Randall in there.
Durant in there?
No.
Really?
Well, Durant has beef with fans anywhere he goes.
I'm throwing KD in there.
Fine.
Way too emotional, bro.
That's with anywhere he goes, though. That was Golden State. I don't know why he had beef with Golden State. I don't know why anyone would disrespect him there with what he did there.
Because that goes into a whole nother dairy.
I'm talking about the Golden State fans.
Yeah, I know. That with fans in general, like they love players more than the team. A lot of fans really love players over teams. So they really love Steph Curry over there. He was never going to be the beloved guy in Golden State.
No.
And they told him about it too.
And when he signed, he wasn't going to be there for long. He was
exactly.
He won 2 Finals MVPs, 2 titles, and he left.
But still, he wins that, and then he's the number 2 to Steph.
It's like A-Rod and Jeter to kind of.
He's never going to be the favorite.
Exactly.
Who, A-Rod? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
A-Rod was never going to be Jeter, and KD was never going to be Steph.
Even though A-Rod is far better.
That's at a point, yeah. At a good
I'm
portion.
right.
A good portion.
I looked over.
I don't see A-Rod on the 90s Yankees winning all those World
He
Series.
wasn't there!
I know, but I'm saying you want to put him on those teams. I don't know.
Because he was a shortstop at the time. They didn't have a shortstop.
Yeah.
Did they really have to give Gallo his number? Did they really have
Yes,
to?
they did.
I don't-
Really?
Yes, they did.
Why?
You're not going to retire A-Rod's number.
Why not?
If you're the Yankees, I would, personally. If you're the Yankees, how could you retire A-Rod's number? Do you see Barry Bonds' number retire for the Giants? No.
I mean, come on.
McGuire.
McGuire's different.
Well,
McGuire's different.
Was he?
I'm saying in terms of what he meant to the Cardinals, that's different.
Wait, but no. I'm not.
What he meant to baseball in 1998, that's very different.
Here, Alex Rodriguez, what was he? If he wasn't the World
And
Series
A-Rod was
MVP.
different than those guys, too. He was, distributing, and he was all this other stuff, and he was banned for a whole year. Those guys never banned.
It's bad stuff, yeah, but if we're just talking about, this is what drives me crazy. If we're talking about merits on the field, and the Yankees aren't alone in this.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. I hate the whole steroid argument in the Hall of Fame and all of that, but if we're talking about play on the field, steroids or not, A-Rod's number should be retired now.
I agree. Not now, because they're already doing one next year.
No, you know what I mean? Soon.
Sooner.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later.
Yes.
The Yankees retire way too many numbers to begin with.
I'm with you on that, yeah.
13's got to be it for a while.
After 13. Who's this year? Paul O'Neill?
Yeah.
Okay.
21. So another 10 years after A-Rod. So you figure 3 years for A-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Till he gets his number retired. Then 10 years. That's fine.
No, wait 10 years for the next number?
Yeah.
For what, 99?
I could put Cashman's bald head up there on the plaque.
I mean, the shine of the center fielder's size in a Monument Park, right?
Are you higher or lower on Brian Cashman than you were last season?
I've always been low on Brian Cashman.
Yeah.
I've always been low.
Really?
Always?
Oh, yeah. Oh, forever?
Forever?
The last
How
5
long?
years.
Okay, that's different. Yeah, that's different.
Also, I just want to shout out. I discovered. I mean, this probably was out there for a while, but this Twitter page that grades umpires. I don't know if you've ever seen this.
What? No.
Oh, I need that. Link that.
Oh, send this in our group chat right now.
So Angel Hernandez was calling the game.
Yeah.
The average. Okay. It's called at ump scorecards. Right.
Is it on letter grades or number grades?
Number.
Okay. Out of what?
100 accuracy. Right. So the average is 94. Angel Hernandez was 92, but they show the strike zone, and he had 6 balls called in the bottom right of.
What's this called again on the account?
Ump scorecards. It's my new favorite Twitter page.
I'm following it right now. Oh my God!
Do you see the Angel Hernandez one?
Ah.
So he had 6 strikes called. Sorry, 6 balls called in the strike zone.
Yes, he did.
In the same locations.
And he called 4 balls for strikes. One was a strike 3.
Yeah.
I mean, did we really need a page full of graphs and statistics?
No, but
we know he's
Hernandez
terrible.
is the worst.
It's
yeah.
interesting.
Why did Joe West have to retire when we get this technology?
It's interesting if you're not using this to complain about losses, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting if you're like, this ump wasn't good. All right, let's check it, right? And I'm not saying this is completely something you should be looking at, but it's an interesting anecdote, to say the least, where I'm probably not using that right. I didn't use it right for a fact, but it's interesting that you could look at something like this. But I'm excited to see when Angel Hernandez really gets into form to see how this looks.
We want to hear this real quick before we go?
Sure.
Tweet from John Heyman again.
Oh.
Well, he retweeted someone else's tweet that said, "News, Paul O'Neill is unvaccinated, which is the reason he is broadcasting Yankee games from his home in Ohio." And then John Heyman says, good deal for O'Neill. Doesn't have to do interviews, doesn't have to travel, doesn't even have to leave his den.
Of course, he'd tweet it like that. He'd have to phrase it like, good for him, good deal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. John Heyman.
John Heyman.
I went to the store and got soda. Good deal.
Yeah, good deal for O'Neill.
Real quick before we go, Mets, Yankees, Nets. Big games today. Mets versus Phillies. Who we got?
I'll take the Mets. I'll be optimistic.
It's Zach Wheeler. I'm going to take the Phillies. McGill looks good. He's not going to keep that going forever.
We all in the Blue Jays tonight with against the Yankees.
Blue Jays are winning.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Jays are winning.
You're a fool.
I'm putting money down.
And do the Nets get it done versus Cleveland at the Clays tonight?
They do not. Actually, they do.
Wow.
Because of what happened. over
What do you mean,
Brooklyn.
what happened? Oh, okay.
I think they get it done.
Okay.
So you'd like to support the
Yep.
borough, whatever? Yeah, okay.
I think they get it done.
Yeah, the Nets are better than the Cavs. They got it.
I think they get it done, but I will be rooting as hard as hell against them. So we'll see how that happens. Go Darius Garland. Let's get it done.
He's got money on it.
Maybe I do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We will call it a day on WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. From Anthony Deus, Matt Leonard, I am Joshua Umahi saying we will see you tomorrow.